and then we'll go to questions.
Well, obviously, exciting time, getting ready to get started in what's going to be hopefully another not only great Big Ten season, but great college basketball season. And I think we're all kind of in the same mode of anticipation, nervous anticipation of how our guys are going to play. But that's what we're up against right now.
Thanks, Coach. Let's open it up for questions. Let's go back left.
Thad Matta, Cedar Rapids. I had a question about Aaron Kraft and the way he defends. How will some of these new rules impact the way he is on the ball, or will it at all?
From what I've seen thus far, I don't think it's going to affect him. I think if they stay with what they're saying, it's going to affect the bad defenders because they can't move their feet as well. And I say that in the most complimentary way to Aaron because I think the thing that he does better than anybody in the country is moves his feet. And he's got the ability laterally to really move. He's got great lower body strength. So I don't really see that being an issue for him in terms of he's not a guy that grabs and holds because he's always there with his feet. So I think he should be in pretty good shape.
Go front right.
And Teddy Greenstein from the Chicago Tribune. What's the dynamic of your offense this year? Obviously, you're losing a guy who shot the ball a lot and scored a lot last year. Deshaun.
Well, I think you're exactly right. I mean, Deshaun Thomas had the ability to make difficult shots, and we gave Deshaun a lot of opportunities to score. The thing that I've seen to this point so far is everybody on the team has made drastic improvements offensively, and that's exciting for me. I think that the dynamics of our offense will be very unselfish play, ball movement, a lot of body movement. We've got length, we've got size, we've got different guys that can post. I think that both Amir Williams and Trey McDonald have been a lot more productive down low, which obviously adds strength to our offense.
Let's go front left on the aisle.
Coach, twice in the last 2 years, players after games talking to your players have mentioned Jeff Walls, your assistant. Would you talk about what he brings to the Ohio State program, please?
Well, I think this Jeff is a terrific coach. He's a guy that has great passion for the university. He has great passion for the kids, and that's something that I look at as I'm putting the staff together. His knowledge of the game, he's a lot like myself. I've been a lot of different places and I've had the opportunity to learn from a lot of different people. But he's a tireless worker. He's one of those guys that truly enjoys every phase of college coaching on a daily basis. Where guys like me sometimes get real tired of certain things. It never phases him, and I think that's kind of the beauty. And the other thing I've always said, Jeff's a very intelligent person. I like intelligent people, and was a biology major from OU, and just a great family man as well.
Front left.
Good morning, Coach. What are the first couple of things coming into this season that you are looking to establish with your team and the personnel involved?
Well, first and foremost, trying to figure out how the game's going to be played. And I say that coming off of a deal we had last Saturday where I didn't know what to tell them in terms of how it was going to be. I think that's going to be an issue for everybody across. But once that's figured out, I think our defense has got to be our staple. We've got to rebound the basketball. I think with our ability to score in transition, getting stops is something that's important. We can't score when we're taking the ball out of the net. And then I think the other thing with the group that we have, a very hopefully intellectual offensive team. I'm hoping with this team that the ability to take care of the basketball is a huge priority, and we do a great job with that.
Any additional questions for Coach? Let's go on the right.
Hey, Coach, Pete DePrimio, Fort Wayne News Sentinel. Just maybe assess the way you feel the Big Ten will shape out this year. I know it's very early, but how do you see it turning out?
Well, somebody asked me the other day, they said, you know, what do you think this year? And I said, you know, honestly, being in this league 9 years, I don't think it's going to be any different than it has been in the past, just in terms of the grind. I've said this about the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten is about having the ability to get knocked down and getting back up and fighting again, because it's such a great league. You got great players, great coaches, great fans. You know, there's going to be challenges. You know, you look at teams that can get on a roll, teams that can stay healthy. You know, you got to look at how the schedule plays out. You know, who plays who, those types of things. But yeah, I think you're looking at a lot like it's been the last couple of years in terms of, you know, it has the potential to come down to the wire. What lasts, you know, for sure 2 years, because we've been involved in both of them, have come down basically to the last shot to determine, you know, an 18-game season for 12 different teams. The title is determined on the last second of it. I mean, how fitting is that for a great league?
Let's go all the way in the back on the right. In the front right.
John Gross was an assistant for you. Are you surprised by anything he's done as a head coach? Was there anything that stuck out when he was an assistant that you thought he could coach this well at this level?
No, I think, you know, I've been fortunate to have a lot of coaches go on and become head coaches, and they're doing very well right now. But John had all the characteristics that I felt, not that I'm the judge of it, but, you know, the things that he would do on a daily basis. And I've always said to myself, if he gets the opportunity, I think he's going to be a heck of a head coach. And obviously, you know, that's what he's done. I mean, from OU to now Illinois. I couldn't be happier for him and the job that he's doing. And you know this about John, I mean, he's going to grind it out and find ways to keep the Illinois basketball where it's been.
Let's go third row right and then second row left.
Thad, Tom Walsh, Wisconsin State Journal. How do you think the new rules are going to affect the game, short term and long term?
I don't know. I don't know yet. Honestly, I don't want to avoid the question. I got to see it. I got to see it for a couple of weeks, and I want to see it across the board, if that makes sense. And then I think the coaches that I've spoken with, we have to take, if it is going to be this way. Now, some guys are saying our exhibition game wasn't that way; it was just like it always is. Others are saying, "Oh my," you know. And so, for all of us, I think we're looking, saying, "Okay, we got about a 2-3 week window here where we got to look at this, and then we got to analyze." And it may be, I don't want to say subtle changes. It may be big changes that we have to make, just in terms both offensively and defensively to adjust, and as all coaches try to do, gain an advantage.
You got a lot of questions on media day in Columbus, obviously, about who's going to make shots for you guys. After the last 3 weeks of practice and the scrimmage you had last Saturday, how are your percentages and what's your impression of how your guys are going to shoot?
Well, it's always, you know, in practice it's that double edge, because when the percentages are high, I'm mad at the defense. And when the percentages aren't, I'm mad at the guy shooting. So I like the way we're shooting the ball, just in terms of percentage-wise of where we've been in the past, going back, looking, analyzing numbers. Now, obviously, you got to do it when the lights are on. But Bob, I think guys have appeared to this point to have a different demeanor, different approach in terms of how important shooting is to me and the welfare of this team's success.
One quick final question on the right.
Jeff Radjohns, Peaks.com. That if these rules kind of stay as they are,
how can that possibly affect recruiting moving forward, as far as what kind of players you need to win?
I hadn't thought about that one. I'll go back to Tom's question. I need a couple weeks to figure this thing out. So, yeah, I hadn't even. I gotta see it through, and we're all coached, like we said, hey, we're going to adjust to it, and we want everything that's best for the game. And if the higher powers above believe that this is going to help the game, I'm all for it. I'd love to score 90 points a game on average. If that was the case, then I'm going to need some offensive firepower, I guess, in recruiting.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this year.
Thank you.